In this video, we're going to discuss Dropbox Paper, which is similar to some other collaborative workspaces we've discussed in the book. It's really great for facilitating reading between the lines and corroborating and refuting. Now, we've talked about Google Drive and Google Docs and other tools. So if you're using Dropbox as a regular storage location and tool to organize resources and such, then Dropbox Paper makes a nice little add-on tool that you can use. Obviously, if you're using Google Drive or Google Docs, then some other tools might be more appropriate. But in this case, the use of Dropbox and Dropbox Paper works really well together. So we're simply going to log in using our Google password. And as you see here, you have your basic access to all of your Dropbox files and stuff. And whenever you create paper files, they are going to be stored in your Dropbox files. So you can organize them and do a lot of things that makes the use of the two together very powerful. So we're going to simply click on the paper. We're going to create a paper doc. And it's very simple. It's just a very basic interface. So much like the other tools that we have organizational options over here. So we can create a new paper doc. We can organize folders and that sort of thing. So we can just start the doc here. Now we notice that whenever we start typing, we get this toolbar down here. So we can insert media. So I'm just going to pick a random image here. We can write a caption for that. We can insert images, so we can insert other media, so video, etc. We can insert Dropbox files, tables, timelines. We can create a to-do list, which you can actually do separately. A bulleted list, a numbered list. We can add a section break, and then we can also add some code. Down here, we get a list of keyboard shortcuts. So if we want to kind of run through and see those, so you can do a lot of formatting, much more than just the basic formatting tool through those keyboard shortcuts. And then you can also see a history of the document by clicking on this. So here it shows us the document changes that were made, who made them. If there were any comments, it would show a comment history as well as a word count. So some nice little features to learn about the history. So as a teacher, if you're having your students work together on a project, you can see, make sure everyone's contributing. If anything was done that messed up the document or something that was done inappropriate, you can see that and who did that and those sorts of things. Now up here we have the share option. So we would simply share. We can give email addresses, access to individuals via email access, or names within Dropbox accounts, and they can either edit or view. You can add a message to them. You can do an edit link or a view link. So this kind of simplifies that process and lets them access it individually. We can copy the link. We can present this document. We can do some other things. We can move it to a different folder. We can archive it, delete it. Again, we can see the history and the word count. We can templatize it. So if we want to use this document format as a template, maybe we were using it and having all of our students start with the same template, we could do that. We can print, present, and export as well. We can search Dropbox. We can create the to-do list that I mentioned earlier. It's very straightforward, so I'm not going to go into that. We have some notification options here, and then we can also create a new document. So I'm going to go back, and we're going to go into our example one here. Obviously here you can go share with Dropbox and connect other apps to it. You can star it. You can look at various versions of it. You can rename it, move it, copy, etc. So we're just going to go back into that very briefly because we're almost finished here. A couple other things I wanted to highlight is that we can comment on a specific area, or we can just comment generally on the media or image or whatever. So if I wanted to highlight this and select a particular area, I could then go in and put a comment here. Or as I mentioned earlier, I can just do a very basic comment on the entire document. It's not really highlighting a specific area. So we have some nice little features here. You can do some emojis and that sort of thing. Very nice little tool, nice collaborative workspace. Again, great for reading between the lines, corroborating and refuting, promoting interactivity, engagement, and collaboration, both synchronously and asynchronously in the teaching and learning environment. What's also nice about this is, again, it integrates well with Dropbox, but there's also a desktop and a mobile application for it, so it can be done on tablets and on phones, or work can be done with these on tablets and phones, etc. So again, this is Dropbox Paper. We hope you find it useful.